All right, beautiful peeps. Well, welcome to another super smiley, sensational Sunday for our Team Power of Hour. Oh my goodness, I haven't had enough coffee yet. I and Jacob, our Dream Team Hour of Power is what was supposed to come out of my mouth. Oh my goodness. And here she is. Trish has just joined us as well. So whether you're here live or watching the replay, just want you to all know how much I love and appreciate you for being part of our travel community. And it's actually what I want to kick off the call with today, because a lot of people join for different reasons when they get started with DreamTrips. And for some, of course, they want to travel, and they're excited by the trips that we put together because they're dream trips. Others join because they want to create an extra income to take away the financial pressure. And there's so many reasons why people get started. But I think the magic in what actually has people stay, and the surprise or the magic that's part of DreamTrips, is the people. And so I just want to thank and acknowledge each and every one of you for being here and being part of our travel community and our team. And I'm going to put someone on the spot to kick off the sharing of our call today. And that, of course, is our amazing laptop lifestyle dad, Jeff Ross. And Jeff, I know that you have had your whole world turned upside down since the Fraser dream trip, and with your son being in hospital. And it's so great that you're now home, and despite him having to be in a wheelchair at this present point in time. But I know that you have been overwhelmed by the support and the love that you've received from your DreamTrips family. And I'd just love you to just take a moment to just share what that's meant to you and your family over the last couple of weeks.
Without crying?
You're allowed to cry. It's okay.
Already teared up already. It's been amazing. Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I've actually haven't got much to say, but it's just been amazing. Normally, I've got a lot to say, but it's been a humbling experience. It's been a sobering experience, but I don't think I could have got through it without you guys. Especially, like reaching out to Chris and Kylie and a few others that have reached out. Trish, your wonderful help with looking after the kids. Yeah, it's been a harrowing couple of weeks to see a little fella go from being able to, running around the soccer field one night and then the next not being able to walk at all. Most of us going through life trying to do it on our own. I really don't know how we do it. And, there's a lot of people out there in the world that don't have communities in any shape or form. And, that's why I'm so grateful for this tribe, this community, and just, the overwhelming individual messages. Like I'm talking hundreds, close on thousands of people who have reached out, or thousands of messages, hundreds of people who have reached out over the last 2 weeks. And, I've not just seen it for my own journey. I've seen it for Kylie's journey. I've seen it for other people's journey who are really close to this community. And just, yeah, it's a wonderful thing that we have here. It's not that we can just celebrate our highs. It's an opportunity to really lead into community, and this to me is what true community looks like, is when you can do the highs and the lows together. That's when you got something special.
Jeff, thank you so much for sharing, buddy. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful that DreamTrips has drawn us back together, that we get to do life. And it's certainly been a pretty epic 18 months. We've both been through highs and lows. And the thing that's been consistent is the love and support and connection through our DreamTrips family.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing that. And I wanted Jeff to kick off the call with that. And I know I didn't prompt you because I wanted it to actually be real and raw as it was. So thank you. That was perfect. People underestimate the value of this. Like, this is priceless. The glue, the magic, the people. And, you know, when people see our trips on social media, like, everybody just goes, wow, like, it just looks like you guys are having so much fun. And again, it's the people. It's what we're putting together. And I'm so freaking excited for the now 7 of us. Our 6 Aussies has grown to 7 to go to Punta Cana. So we haven't made any public announcements yet because this particular individual doesn't even have time off work. I think she has to resign from her job to be able to go. But I just want to give a massive shout out to Kerry Fitzpatrick, soon to be Kerry McCabe. And so Kerry gets married on the 5th of August. So I'm flying down early to go to Kerry's wedding. And literally the day after she gets married, I'm taking her to Sydney. And then I'm having a pre-honeymoon with Kerry and the rest of our crazy Aussies in Punta Cana. And then a month later, she goes on her real honeymoon with her actual husband. Amen. So just really proud and excited for her. And part of her story is actually what I want to share as the key message in our training today. And Kerry was terrified. Like, I mean, terrified. Like, Kerry's an amazing leader, right? She's created incredible success in her life. And one of the biggest things that Kerry was worried about was, what would people think? Because as you all know, Kerry's our chief love officer. Like, she has the biggest heart. She's so beautiful. She loves and cares on everyone. Like, she's just such a beautiful person. But she was so worried about, like, that fear, that judgment of what would people think. And I want you all to take a moment, because the thing that holds everyone back is fear. And typically it is that fear of judgment, fear of what will people think, fear of failure, fear of success. Like, there's so many fears, the fears of, you know, failing, fucking it up, getting it wrong. So I want you to take a moment and have a look at that. And I said to Kerry, I said, who cares what people think? Like, is Eamon okay with it? She said, yeah, he told me to go. I'm like, so what's the problem? Like, you know, so I just want you to have a look at yourself at the moment and look at where have you got the handbrake on? What story have you got in your mind? What is it that you're worried about? What is it that's stopping you from taking the action that you know to take, which is really freaking simple, because we send a little, it's not even a 5-minute video anymore. It's a 3-minute and 51-second video through Rapid Funnel, and it does all the follow-up for you. What's that fear? And we've all got one. There's a story there. And maybe it's, I don't know. It just seems so amazing. Maybe it's too good to be true. Or maybe the Fraser trip was just a fluke. I'm waiting for the next trip. Like, I don't know what that thing is for you. But I know that there's something holding many of you back because you're not taking the action that you know that you need to take to get the results. Or maybe it's that you're not hungry enough. I was watching an incredible personal development video yesterday from Tony Robbins, and he was being interviewed, and they asked him what's the number one thing that he has seen as a common thread from every single person that's created massive success through all of his coaching programs, through his whole career. And without a pause, he said, the number one thing is hunger. Every single person who's successful, they're hungry. They want it. They want it so bad. They want it like more than they breathe. And so when you join this, and, you know, for those of you who want to do this in a really big way, like, how hungry are you? Do you really want it? How bad do you want it? And what are you prepared to do to get it? What are you prepared to give up to get it? We have the craziest, easiest, simplest, most fun business model on the planet. Like, you know, we're not out there trying to sell health products to help people lose weight or improve their health, which can be a really hard thing to do. You know, there's great companies, great products out there, but that's a heavy, hard conversation. Like, we're talking fun and travel. We literally get paid to go hang out and have fun and travel and create epic experiences with our friends. Like, that's not a hard conversation to have. So how hungry are you? And of course, your business is a reflection of you. Your life is a reflection of you. So you have to change and grow for you to have what it is that you want in your life. So there'll be a whole heap of things that you're tolerating. And I did an exercise with my very first business coach, Real Bergen, back in 2007. This is pre-kids for me. And one of the exercises that she had us do is to take out a blank piece of paper or your journey and write down, what am I tolerating? And there'll be all these little things on a daily basis. So from the second that you wake up, maybe there's a broken knob on the door to go to the bathroom. And maybe there's a leaky tap. And then maybe when you walk out your bedroom door, there's like a little crack in the architrave. And then you get to the kitchen and maybe the dishwasher doesn't shut properly, or the doors don't shut properly, or there's, and there's all these tiny little things. And you go into your wardrobe and you've got your holy undies, like I shared my post this week. And there's all these little things. And then, your partner maybe is like having a niggle and having a dig at you, and all these things that you tolerate over your day, and every single one of them starts pulling you down. And it starts eating away at your confidence and eating away at your belief in who you are. So for you to be able to shift that, again, coming back to that being hungry, you got to raise your standards and you got to stop tolerating those little things. And so when you write that huge, big list, maybe the thing that you've been tolerating is your bank account, because maybe there's more month or money at the end of the money. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's the car that you're driving that's falling apart and like you're done. Like, that's it. I'm not going to drive this car. Like, I'm drawing a line in the sand. From this day, I'm going to have a new car or a different car. Or maybe it's, I'm going to use Jeff for an example for a moment. I know you'll be cool with this, Jeff. Jeff is over renting a house. Like, he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm buying a house. Like, I'm done. And it's you having to look at all of those things that you're tolerating and draw that line in the sand and raise your standards and go, from this moment forward, this is who I am. I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore. And one of those things is allowing other people to treat you poorly, because if you don't respect yourself, nobody else will. And it's having that posture. And so when Kerry was sharing her story, she was terrified. Like, oh my goodness, like, my dad's turning up today. Like, what is he going to think? Like, he's going to kill me. I'm like, well, he's not going to kill you. Like, that's okay. But, you're a grown adult. Like, you're allowed to make your own decisions. So who is it that you're fearful of? And, Kerry had someone who she has helped immensely who was abusing her in a public place. Like, how beautiful Kerry is, right? And I just went, why are you tolerating that? Like, you got to set some boundaries, girl. Like, you got to raise your standards. Like, that's not okay. So this is such a huge thing for every single one of us, to raise our standards, to set those boundaries, to stop tolerating the way people treat you, because the only reason they treat you like that is because you're allowing them to. And by you allowing them to do that, that's bringing you down. And that doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your family. It doesn't serve our community. It doesn't serve the world. So you got to start raising your standards, setting those boundaries. And the other thing is actually making unreasonable requests. Like, I think you guys all know me as the make it happen queen. I make shit happen. I make the impossible happen because I'm prepared to ask the questions. I make unreasonable requests. Like last year, and Kath and Jeff and Chris know this better than anyone. Like, when I didn't have a deposit for this beautiful tree house, like, I was literally messaging and calling people that I barely knew, who I knew was successful through my connections with them on Facebook, and asking them if they would like lend me money as a deposit. Like, I was like totally making ridiculous, unreasonable requests because I wanted it. I was hungry. Like, Jeff, I was so done renting. Like, I'd made a decision that I was going to be in this house by Christmas last year. I wanted my kids to feel that they had that safe place, that they had a house for Christmas, that we weren't going to have, someone buy and get kicked out of, right? So what is that thing for you? And it comes down to, what are you tolerating? So the first step is to write that list and keep writing. What are all of the things that you're not happy with in your life? Write them all down, and then write some more, and then find some more. And then once you've identified that, then you want to look at the next step, which is, what is it that you want? How hungry are you? What is that going to mean for you and your family when you can have all of those things? You know, what's the impact if you don't have that? Like, does that worry you if you stay where you're at? Or if we do nothing, we get worse, right? Because we've got to take steps in the direction, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And then who do you have to be? Remember, we talked about this before, be, do, have. So I've done it in reverse today. What is it that you want to have, or what do you not want to have through the tolerating? And then what do you have to do to fix that? And then who do you need to be? Because that's actually the starting point. And maybe you need to be courageous, and you need to start having those courageous conversations. Maybe you need to be respectful of yourself and create that higher standard. And, you know, I figure that if you don't ask the question, the answer's already no. And so I can't say this because I need to be quiet. For my daughter's birthday, I've actually organised a massive rock star who plays live. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah. Okay. So for her birthday, I've surprised her. We're going to go to, talking to the microphone, that might help. We're going to go to a space where we've got this like really local celebrity singing, and he's going to surprise her and sing happy birthday. But I've organised for her music coach to deliver her guitar and a playlist, and he's going to invite her to come up and play on stage live. And I reached out and asked him the question. Now, I hardly know him. He was actually a friend of Scott's. And I'm like, well, the worst thing you can do is say no, right? If I don't ask, the answer's no. And he was so excited. He's like, oh my God, yes, absolutely. Like, send me through the songs. And I asked for one song, like he's going to do a whole thing with her. And he's asked for the list of songs, and the music teacher's so excited. So she's going to say like the songs, the tone, the key, I don't know what all the things are, and organize the guitar to be like delivered. Like, oh, freaking awesome, right? So again, if I didn't ask the question, like, yeah, I know, me too, Gary. Oh, Kath, oh my God, I'm just like so excited. And we've organized a rent-a-crowd, of course, because that's how I roll. It's going to be amazing. And this is like the number one place in Ellie Beach that any musician would want to go play live. Like, it's the place. So I'm so excited. But that came down to me saying, I want her birthday to be the absolute best birthday for her. What would she want? What do I need to do? How can I create that? And making those unreasonable requests, right? So, you know, what are those unreasonable requests that you need to make for your life to have what you want, but also to build this business? What have you got to overcome? Maybe you've got to become more resilient. Maybe you have to stop giving a fuck what other people think about you. And I do apologize for swearing. I've been very mindful of not swearing recently, but that needed that one, because you guys are so hung up on what other people think about you. Stop it. Other people's opinions aren't going to put money in your bank account. Other people's opinions aren't going to sort the challenges that you have in your life. Like, you've got to want it. You've got to be hungry. You got to go after it. So I'm going to transition the call now, and I'm so freaking proud and excited beyond words to acknowledge our very own Trish Howard today. So Trish was in our top 10 global recruiters for the week. Just so freaking excited when I was like, will it be? And when I saw your name come up, oh my goodness, like I had happy tears, because the thing that makes me happier than anything in this business is when I see other people within our team and community winning. And Trish, I know when you got started, you'd never done anything like this before. I know you copped the haters on social media. You struggled. You didn't know how to do it. But I acknowledge you because you kept showing up to all these calls. You kept reaching out for help to your incredible leader, Jeff, and to myself and to the community and the team. You were consistent. You kept posting on social media. You started doing Facebook Lives. You'd never done Facebook Lives before. And if you guys haven't watched it, I want you to go to Trish's Facebook profile and have a look at her Facebook Live that Trish did last night. Like, it's only a few minutes. Trish's energy is through the roof. Like, it's high vibe. Like, you can just feel her excitement and enthusiasm and passion. Like, who wouldn't want to be part of that? And like, I look at that Trish that I saw on that live last night compared to where you were when you joined us a few short months ago. Like, just so proud of you for your growth. And you've got to that point where you've stopped caring about what other people think. And you've taken action and you've been consistent. So you've now got a free membership because you've referred 4, so you pay no more. And so I want to just give you a moment, Trish, to share. One, I'd love you to just share who you are, your background, so everyone can kind of get the essence of who you are. And then I want you to share what were the struggles and the fears that you had in the beginning, and then what was the action that you took to be able to be on that top 10 global recruiters call. So over to you, beautiful lady.
Wow. Thank you, Kylie. It's such an honor to be here. I'm so stoked. And wow, I don't even know what to say, really. Thank you so much. I guess I'll tell you a bit about who I am. My name's Trish. I'm 44. I've been with my husband for 11 years now. I'm married for 8 of those, I think. I have a family of 5 stepchildren and 1 child between us. So we've got a family of 6, so we're a pretty big family. 3 stepchildren live at home, plus our little boy. So we're pretty busy. Plus we have some special needs amongst that family as well. So it's a pretty full-on house. I have cerebral palsy. I've had it all my life because I was born 3.5 months premature. But my family taught me never to let that stop who I am. It just means you've got to work harder. Like, it's just, you just do things differently and you've got to work harder. And so that's really all I know, because my mum said to me when she was younger, if I ever pass away, I want to make sure that you're okay. So for you to do that, you need to be strong and independent. So I am, and that's where I am today, which is great. But I hadn't done anything like this before. And the reason I decided I wanted to do this was because my husband works really hard. He works 2 jobs to support our family, and he only has 1 day off a week. And so we never really get to see him much, and that's really hard. And my little boy sometimes goes, "Oh, when's Daddy coming home?" And sometimes he's away for 48 hours at a time, sometimes because he works in a group home as a disability support worker. So he has a lot of high needs clients that need a lot of support. And so that's great. He's amazing at what he does, but it also means that sometimes we struggle as a family too. And so I thought, and because he works a lot and he earns a decent income, I don't get any disability pension because he earns too much. But I also don't have a lot of employment either, because for me, employment's in and out all the time, because it's either a short-term job or I don't get the job, or people make assumptions and I might get to the interview, but not the job. All right. So I thought, you know what? If I can earn a bit of income, then maybe my husband won't have to work as many hours and we can be together more as a family. So that's my goal. And when I first joined DreamTrips, because I know Jeff personally because we go to the same church. So to me, he was a local guy that I knew. And I'd seen some posts. He'd done a few, what I know now as a few curiosity posts. So I said, "Okay, mate, what is this? All right, tell me what it is. I'll listen. What is this?" And so he told me. And I was like, "Oh, we'll see." And then I thought, well, originally I thought, okay, I'll join up with DreamTrips. Hey, I might get a holiday. That'd be great, because we never go on holidays because my husband's always working. And I might earn a bit of quick money on the side. That's what I originally thought, that this was a bit of a get quick rich kind of scheme, as people tend to think. Anyway, so I get into DreamTrips. And to be honest, it's a bit harder than what I thought. And I thought, oh, okay, so I'm not going to get this quick get rich thing, but that's okay. But then I started to think, what really is this? And of course, then as fear does, fear grabbed hold of me. And what you said was exactly right. You get the naysayers, people are judgy. What are they going to think? And I've done a bit of multi-level marketing before with some other products, but nothing serious, because by that stage, people said a few things and I'd stopped. So I was worried they were going to go, oh, here's another thing she's doing. So I remember sitting in my kitchen with Jeff, and Jeff can attest to this, crying, didn't I, Jeff? Quite a few times, because I thought I was stupid and I didn't know what I was doing and people were going to make fun of me. And then I absolutely 100% agree and attest to what changed me. The training was great, but what changed me is absolute mindset, 100%. Like, I thought that was woohoo, wishy-washy bullshit to begin with, to be honest. It really was. Like, and then one day I'd watched a few videos that you'd done, other people had done, but the thing that really struck me was I'd watched a video by Matt Morrison about mindset, and he was saying what people say to you is total bullshit. Like, who you are is who you are. And he talked about an event that happened in his childhood, and that really struck a chord with me. I sat here bawling my eyes out. Like, he talked about how when he was a kid he'd run a race and he was so excited because he got second, and when he got home his mum goes, oh, that's great, but we're not runners. So he said, oh, I never did that again. Now for me, that moment for me was, I'd been in a previous relationship that was abusive prior to marrying my husband. And I remember my boyfriend one day had said to me, I wanted to apply for a job that was a little bit out of my reach, but I was going to apply for it anyway because I thought, why not? Let's give it a go, because that's the kind of person I used to be. And he said to me, oh, I don't know why you're bothering applying for that job because you're too stupid for it anyway. So I never did. I never applied for that job. And after that, for years and years and years, I thought I was too stupid to do anything and nobody would ever listen to me, so why bother? So when I heard that from Matt Morrison, I knew that was his moment, and that was my moment too. And I sort of thought, well, stuff you, world. I am going to do this. I can do this. I'm not stupid, and I've just got to keep going. So I started not giving a shit. Seriously. I was messaging people and going, and if they said no, I'm not a very persuasive person, to be honest. So if they said no, rather than getting worked up about that, I just move on to the next person, because I know that somebody's going to say yes. And I know in my training that when I do get better at this, I'm probably better at being more persuasive. So I probably will get more sales because I'll be a little bit more pushy. But I'm not worried about that right now, because those sales will come down the track. So I managed to get my 4. I'm really stoked. I don't quite understand how I got on the top 10, because really I only got 4 people. But hey, it worked. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. So it's all about mindset. It truly, truly is. And I can't declare that enough. It's not about how many sales you have or what a great person you think you might be or need to be or any of that. It's truly about your own mindset. If you can go, I can do this and I'm going to do this and I don't give a shit what you think, just do it. Seriously, guys, just do it. And if you fail, get back up. Have that burning desire, just get up and do it. And that's it, really.
Oh my goodness, Trish, I have got goosebumps. Like, wow, your passion, your energy, your enthusiasm. Jeff's a proud dad over there. I can see he's got happy tears, which is just so beautiful to see. And so I want to ask you 2 more things to share. So the first thing is, what did you physically do to join those 4 people? So what was it that you're doing as your activity to be able to get those 4 people to join?
So I got myself in the right mindset, and I was going back looking at notes I'd written and going, yeah, I used to put on music to get me, because I still do sometimes. I used to get really anxious when I sent out a direct message, so that fear would still creep in. But I'd get myself in the mindset, so I put on some music, so I felt happy and confident, and then I send messages and just say, hey, it's Trish here. How you going? I've got something I'd really love to share with you. I don't know if it's your thing, but it could be. Are you interested? Some people would say, no, not really. I'm like, no worries. Thanks for your time. Move on to the next person. If someone said yes, I'd go, oh, that's great. Let me share my 5-minute video with you. And then because through the training through Jeff and yourself and Alison and other bits of video that I watch from other people, because I always think it's really good to get some outside influences. And my theory is this: if they're saying something similar to you or you're saying something similar to them, that's two people saying the same thing, right? I must be on the right track. So that's how I work. I must be on the right track. And so if they said yes, great. Show them the 5-minute video. Then I would go to Jeff, yourself, or Alison, and go, hey, look, I've got a person interested. Could you do a 3-way chat, please? And you guys would. 9 times out of 10, people get over the line. Sometimes they're still hanging around. And I just go back gently, give them a bit of a push. I've got some more that I think could be a potential, customer, but we're still working on that. And basically, that was it. And once I realised it is exactly what you say, it's saying, hi, how you going? Sharing a 5-minute video and doing a 3-way chat. That is basically it. Yes, it's easy to do, but you're right, it's easy not to do too. So if you procrastinate, look, I'm a bit of a procrastinator, so sometimes I do have to push myself, but not because it's hard to do, because I get a bit lazy. It's not hard to do. And once you get that in your mind, that we are over seriously complicating this more than it needs to be, once you get your aha moment, you're going to go, like, seriously. And, like, I'll just keep going. My next goal is to get 10. When, before I get to Whit Sundays, I'd love to have 10 people. That's my goal. But I don't stress myself about it either. If some days I get none, well, I get none. If some days I get 3 or 4, that's awesome. But you've got to be consistent. I had no idea what I was doing when I did lives, and I still don't, but I still do it, And I remember you saying to me, Kylie, on one of these Zooms, you said something about write down the alphabet or some crap. I don't know what it was. So I started doing stupid lives about positive alphabet things just to get me confident. Nothing to do with what I wanted to do with other people, really. It was all about myself. I just wanted to have the ability, and I knew that I had to do the next letter the next day. So it kind of pushed me to do that. But people are loving it. I'm doing reels and I'm getting like 1,700 likes on a reel. Like, what's that? Seriously, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just do it. And I was my first live. I was making fun of myself.
Kylie, what's that saying? Knowledge on ice. What's the saying again?
Ignorance on fire, knowledge on ice.
Yeah, like just perfect example, right? And
I'm so annoyed.
I'm just so blown away, Trish. Like, you just hearing your tonality, your voice, your passion right now compared to where it was 6 weeks ago, even 3 weeks ago. It's
the mind shift, Jeff. It's the mind shift.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm so proud of you. So thank you for coming on today's call and just sharing that with the world. And you are one to watch, and you are definitely a diamond that's starting to sparkle through. So thank you for being so coachable.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing, so I have to be like that. Tell me what I need to do, because I don't know. Like,
yeah, absolutely love doing life with you and love doing this business with you. So well done.
Thanks, Dom. And I am like, there's nothing fancy about me. What you see is what you get. I'm pretty black and white. I'm pretty straight down the line. Give me a yes, give me a no. I'm as simple as that. Tell me what to do, I'll do it.
Trish, I can see you as one of our global trainers in such a short time frame. Like, oh my goodness, just love everything. You could totally do that. The only, you have got it. You just got to let the results catch up to who you now are, and they will. And I can totally see you being one of our top recruiters consistently, one of our top global leaders, and one of our trainers, because everything that you have just shared, you speak so beautifully, so much passion. Like, you are amazing. So just so freaking proud of you, darling, and just thank you for coming on and sharing. And Jeff, I want to acknowledge you too, because I know for someone to get results, they need a great coach and mentor.
He's been amazing. Look,
no, you've been an amazing.
If it wasn't for Jeff, I don't know whether I'd still be. Like, Jeff pushed me. Like, this is not all just me. Okay, people see me at the forefront, but it's Jeff in the background that's been doing a lot of shit for me and with me that's got me where I wanted today. And I was just saying to someone yesterday, I'm really pleased that I learnt from Jeff Jeff, what I learned from Jeff before he had his unsettling time with his family, because I haven't relied on Jeff as much while he's been away, obviously, because he needed to be with family. And I haven't needed Jeff as much now either. But if I'd met Jeff now, I don't know whether I'd still be in DreamTrips, because I would be scared and terrified. Where now, thanks to Jeff and you guys, even though Jeff had stepped away to be with his family, which is, obviously that's amazing because you need to do that. That's what family's all about. I felt confident enough 90% of the time to do this. So thank you, Jeff, for giving me the skills and the training to do this earlier on in the piece. Like you're what got me going in the first place.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
I thank you to the community for stepping in where I had to step out. And that's what coming back to the question, what I love about this community, and that's one of the things, right? Is that we are a team together, like no one person has to drop the ball. There's a 100 other leaders around us. Well, there will be.
I know.
That'll help pick us the ball back up. But what's just really got present to me right now, and I just want to share this quickly with the whole group and everybody who's watching, is this is the true definition of layered leadership here, this conversation right now. Now, this is what we've got to keep multiplying and duplicating. So I truly believe that we all need a mentor. Kylie, Chris are my mentors, and we all need someone underneath us to be able to train and pass that information on that we're learning. And that is the true definition. And I'm going to use a biblical quote here because I don't know anything else to call it at the moment. That's the true definition of discipleship. So that is what I truly believe that, this team needs to do to grow and multiply, is making sure that you've got a mentor, you're plugged into someone above you, and make sure that you're training someone like Trish, someone below you, because, hey, that's the key to it all, right? That's the key to the growth.
I love that, Jeff. And I just popped in the chat for you all because this was the next part of what I wanted to share today. Study, practice, teach are the 3 steps for you to be able to grow your business. So we've already seen Trish has been a student. She's been coachable and she's practiced. She's gone out and actually applied the knowledge that she's learned. And so you've got the result, Trish. So now it's your time to step up as a leader, and you need to teach your 4 people now to be able to do the same, because this business is all about duplication. So for all of you who are on this call, it's you being on these calls and learning, studying what you need to do. But it's not just about being on these calls and getting motivated and fired up. You then got to go put it into action. So you got to practice it. And we call it practice. It's Kath and I were talking about yoga the other day, and Kath said, oh my God, I suck at yoga. So do I. And one of my mentors, when I used to do a lot of yoga, they say we call it a yoga practice because you got to practice, because you can never perfect yoga, because you get to the next level, there's another thing that's going to challenge you. And it's the same with this. It's practice. And, I make mistakes and stuff things up every single day. I make more mistakes than every single one of you because I'm just doing more of it. That's all. And we all suck. Like, everyone has to suck in the business, and you just got to keep sucking until you suck less. Like, seriously, like, that's how you get to the top of this business. Just keep sucking, and eventually you'll suck less, and eventually you're going to get results. But, we're so hung up on being perfect and having everything polished and professional. People don't want that. Like, people want Trish. Like, who wouldn't want to be a part of Trish's community with her love and passion and excitement and energy and high vibes? Like, that is what this business is about. And people are going to join Trish any day of the week over someone who's being perfect, polished, and professional, because, that's like the old TV commercials. Nobody wants that. So I don't know if he's still available to talk, but Chris, if you are there, buddy, I know that you're working away in the background. Chris is on a mission to ditch his traditional business so that he can just travel full time with us. And look, I'm going to throw to Chris. Chris has been an amazing mentor for every single one of us. And Chris and I talk, I don't know, sometimes 20 times a day. And Chris, you're one of my mentors. And when it comes to mindset and belief, you're one of the best people on the planet that I know. And I love you, and I look up to you, and I respect you so much. And I'm so excited for our trip together in Punta Cana. So I just want to throw to you, babe, and get you to just share on this call. Hang on, Chris, you're crackly, babe. I don't know if you're in a bad service area. I might get you to just, or maybe come closer to the phone or something. No, you're still crackly. You might. It's probably raining. You might have to go outside, hun. We've got crackle, 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 and he's just got a brand new phone, so we know it's not the phone. No. Damn it. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll come back to Chris in a second once he can hopefully get some better service. So just while we're doing that, guys, the best way for you to get the belief that you need in this business is to book a dream trip and book a dream trip. So I know for Jeff, for example, with where he was at financially 6 months ago, he didn't even know how he could make Fraser Island happen to get all of his kids and his beautiful wife there. But he made a decision that he was going to be there. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know how I was going to get to Punta Cana. I really didn't. And same with Cass, same with Jeff, probably same with Alison, absolutely the same as Kerry. But we all set the intention that we're going to be at Punta Cana. Don't know how it's going to happen. And this is where you've got to faith it until you make it. So faith it until you make it. You've got to have faith. And whether your belief is in God or the universe or whatever it is in yourself, you've got to set that intention of what it is that you want. And I made the intention, I'm going to be in Punta Cana and I'm going to have a bunch of my team there with me. And I was also putting it out there that Kerry was going to be a part of it. Now, even yesterday morning, I'm like, man, like they said, there's still like one more room left. I'm like, let it be Kerry, let it be Kerry. And then she sent me a message and said, what were those dates for Punta Cana again? I'm like, oh my goodness, we can make it happen. So faith it until you make it. So you've got to have that vision, that goal, that dream. If you aim at nothing, you're guaranteed to hit it. So set a goal, like what is it that you want to do? Do you want to come to Whistler for a white Christmas with us next year? Are you coming to Whitsundays? New Year's Eve in Sydney, swimming with the whale sharks? Jump online, your DreamTrips portal, and there are so many amazing trips in there. Kath, I found another trip to Bali in September. I'm like, oh my goodness, we could go to Bali in September. So get in the portal, get excited about our freaking amazing product and our dream trip and book it. Or if you can't book it, at least say, I'm going on that trip. And actually set that goal, share it on social media, and trust in the process that it's going to happen. All right, let's throw back to Chris and see if you've got better service now.
Does that sound any better?
Yes, that's perfect.
Geez, I just bought a bloody $1,500 phone that doesn't even work any good. I'll have to work on it. Yeah, I think there's a little message in there, Kylie, when you threw to me and you said that, me and you talk, 10, 20 times a day. I think it's very important that you partner with somebody in the business because, one, it just keeps you on track, but two, it just gets you back on track. Like a lot of times we talk and we both got like 20 things all going at the same time. And it's actually those conversations that pulls you back into where you need to be. So it's really important to be doing something consistently because if you don't do it consistently, it just won't happen for you. So if you want something to happen in your life, you've got to be consistent at it and very disciplined. I'm ex-military, and that was the first thing they taught me when I first joined the force was that you had to be regimental in every single thing that you do. And life's pretty much the same way. So if you keep sticking to it, eventually that result will come. So sometimes it comes quick, sometimes it comes a little bit longer, but the people that generally successful are the people that just keep at it. And it's just one of those things. And I think you spoke about, the want or the actual desire to have it. Well, that just comes with consistency. A lot of times things will happen, and I've always been a person that puts it out there in the universe. So if I really want something, I stick my mind to it, I keep working at it, and funny enough, it just pops up in front of you. And I don't know how many times in my life that's happened, and through that's made me very financial and very successful. So I think the difference between me and a lot of people is that I just get really disciplined, really focused on what I want. and then just go hard at it, and then all of a sudden it falls into place. And DreamTrips is no different. So very proud of both Jeff and Trish. Really great job, guys. And I think there's a bit of something in there for everybody. Like at the end of the day, partner up with somebody that you relate to, somebody, and sometimes it may not be the person that sponsors you. If you need to jump up one or cross one or whatever, we're all here to help. So anybody that needs mentoring and stuff like that, there's always somebody above you that can help you. So I think that's the secret. The other secret too is, as Kylie said, we just got to go on DreamTrips, because once you go on trip, that bond between those 10 people or the 20 people or the 30 people that you're traveling with is a life bond. And once you get that life bond, there's always somebody else to bounce something off. So now I can talk to Alice, and I can, ring Lee over in New Zealand. Kerry, we just got such a big team. And now what happens is that team goes from 10 to 20, then from 20 to 30, 30 to 50. So that's the thing, is it's about the community. We touched on that with Jeff as well, going through some tough times, and we all reach out because we all feel it, because we're all in the same life that he's living. So it's really important to be part of that team. It's really important to show up, and it's really important now to start taking some action and go to that next stage. Because with just a little bit of extra effort, you only got to get one small result each week. Then you get to the end of the month and you've got a huge result. So that can be the difference of getting through this. The other thing is that I think financially things will come too. Then once you start doing those things, then you don't have to worry so hard about the financial side of it, because it'll catch up. So the biggest thing now is being present, being mentored, partner up with somebody, and let's just take some action. And I can't wait for Punta Cana, because and I am trying to retire. I've worked one day this week, but I'm really trying to get out of doing one day. But Jacob needed a hand today because it's a bit too much for him. He's trying to retire too.
Jacob's been on so many damn holidays because he's got the best boss in the world.
Jacob's trying to retire, and he's the guy I'm trying to get to do all the work. So it's been really tough. But absolutely, congratulations, and well deserved. And can't wait to see you on a dream trip. Well done, Trish.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you so much, champion. And again, so many gold nuggets as always from Chris. And yes, having a running buddy, when I used to be the head coach of the National College of Business, that was one of our key success factors on session 1 of a 12-month program, is we used to buddy everyone up. So you had an accountability buddy, and you had to check in with your buddy every single day. And, they had to physically catch up once a month in between the catch-ups that we had at the college. And this is the #1 business coaching college in Australia. So if that works for that, do you think it might work for this? Absolutely. So it is so important. If you don't have a buddy, reach out, find one. And look, I'm not going to be your mum. I'm not going to go, okay, who needs a buddy? I'll organize it. No, you got to step up and be a freaking leader. You got to start doing things for yourself. I had someone reach out to an Australian who joined DreamTrips, who's not part of our group. And he reached out to Martin, because he's also joined under Martin Ruoff. And he was like, oh, I couldn't get on the Fraser Island Dream Trip because it was all sold out. And I said to Martin, I added 10 people after it was sold out. I just make it happen. Even Dom, adding Kerry on, after it had closed. And then he's like, Kylie, listen to me. The trip is now closed. Because he knows what I'm like. Because I just keep asking questions. I make the requests. I make stuff happen. You got to make this happen for you in your business, in your life. You got to start showing up as the leader, not being a victim and going, oh, it's not fair. Kylie and Chris are buddies. I wish I had that relationship. No, but who do you want to buddy with? We have the most incredible team. Mark and Tammy have flown all over the world. They've met members all over the world, and they're like, oh my goodness, your team is the best, most amazing group of people that we have ever met collectively on a dream trip. There's not one person that we're going, man, that one. You were all amazing. Everyone was engaged. They were so impressed at the caliber of the people that we have within our team and travel community. And that's because of you guys. So you can buddy up with any person within our community. But show up, make unreasonable requests. Maybe someone says, no, they don't want to be your buddy. Who cares? There'll be someone who does. And here's the other thing, just to say this when I coached at the National College of Business, you always get the perfect buddy. So maybe someone reaches out to you to be a buddy and you go, oh, I didn't really want to be buddies with that person. I promise you, you're going to learn so much from that person. So whether you have, and it's amazing how our minds say, that's a good person or that's a bad person, because we all judge stuff, right? Our brains, that's just how our brains function. I promise you, be open. You always get the perfect buddy. Maybe it's a mirror, and because what you see in others is actually a reflection of you. So if there's something that you see in your buddy that you don't like, well, you got to turn around and look at yourself, because that's something that you need to work on within yourself. If there's something that you love about your buddy, guess what? That's a reflection of you too. You go, wow, like you want to acknowledge yourself for that, because you're actually 1,000 times, an infinite times more amazing than you give yourself credit for. You are infinitely more powerful, skillful, resourceful, and capable than you give yourself credit for. So stop playing a small game. Stop beating yourself up. Like, actually start being the leader that you were born to be. Make the impact that you were born to make. And so make sure that you all get a buddy, and you can have multiple buddies as well. That's okay. But, Chris and I also, like, the other thing, having a buddy, you need to have those crucial conversations, those committed conversations. And, some people call it controversy. Like, sometimes Chris and I, we're mad at each other. Like, we're like, rah! Exactly, because we're so damn alike, it's scary. Sometimes Chris is absolutely going off, kicking my ass, and vice versa, because we hold each other to a higher standard. And so if, Chris is slacking off, I'm like, Chris, you haven't put anyone in this week. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, come on. Like, you got to, get in the game. And he says the same to me. Because you're on that top 10 global recruiter board again. What are you doing? Like, we have these conversations because it's all about lifting each other up and holding each other to a higher standard. So that's the other thing with a tribe, with a community. If we're all just kind of being a bit lazy and being like those cows, we just wander on in and we eat the grass and, we don't really, or are we all, really going, come on, guys, like, we've all got to lift our standards. We all have to, let's smash that top 10 next week. Like, our team, we could literally have every one of those top 10 spots could be Team Australia. Like, who is up for that? Like, that is totally possible for us to do that. The Global Recruiter resets at 3 p.m. every Friday afternoon. So we literally, today's day one. We have an entire week. If we all went in and, took all out massive action, like, you could join 5 people today or over the weekend, like, if you really try. Like, it's not hard. But you just sitting there, like, you don't have a high enough standard for yourself, because you're like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I want to do it. Like, you're coming up with all these sucky excuses. Like, stop it. Like, let's get excited. Let's take action and let's freaking do this thing, guys. And Chris talked about 2 things that we need, and that's discipline and focus. So we're all going to suffer from one of 2 things, the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment. Which do you choose? So each week, are you going to be disappointed by the things that you haven't done? When you look back to when you joined, are you going to be disappointed because you're not where you wanted to be by now? Or are you going to have the discipline and the focus to stay focused and get this done? And focus is an acronym. Follow one course until successful. Most people get all that bright, shiny object syndrome with going off in all these different directions. Like, you got to focus. When they interviewed Bill Gates and Warren Buffett collectively, they asked what was the number one thing that attributed to your success, and they both said focus. They eliminated everything else out of their life. They eliminated all the distractions. They eliminated everything that wasn't important. Like, what can you eliminate in your life to create more space? Like, I don't watch TV. I don't even know the last time I watched TV, like years ago. Like, we got a TV, but it just sits there gathering dust. Like, no one watches it. Like, what can you do to create some space in your life? Like, Kath and I, we talked to everyone at the dog park. Like, we had a lady who asked us, 2 days ago. So what do you two do? Oh, we've got an online travel business. So, you know, we walk the dogs, have a great life, we travel. She's like, wow, that sounds good. Like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, are you on Facebook? She says, yeah. I said, well, look, why don't you add me on Facebook? Don't know if it's for you, but hey, I'll send you a little video that explains how it all works. She's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And then she's wanting more info, but I'm not answering any questions because that's an amateur rookie error, right? You got to be a pro. You got to follow the system. You got to be disciplined, which is don't give them anything until you can give them everything. Don't be a tool, point to the tool. So we've sent her the video. So I am so freaking excited about where our team is at. Trish, I'm so excited for you, honey. I know that this is just the beginning. You're just getting started. And for every single one of you, my wrap-up coaching for you today is be like Trish. Go be excited. You know, who cares if you don't know what you're doing? Just be excited. And I promise you, your excitement and enthusiasm and energy is going to be contagious, and people are going to want to be a part of it just because you're excited. Book a freaking trip. Get excited about DreamTrips. Log into your DreamTrips portal and have a look at all the trips. And guys, we've just jumped online last night to wrap up all the details for our Punta Cana trip. Like, we have booked so many damn airport passes, the lounge passes. I think we've got like 5 lounge passes each for this trip at about $100 a pop US, 150 times 5. Like, that's a decent chunk of cash that we've all saved, an incredible value because we're all priority members. Like, amazing. Like, we've had our own concierge helping us put everything together for us, which is amazing. Like, it just saves so much time and effort. And this trip is going to be epic. I wish every single one of you were there with us. And I want you all to have FOMO because I want you all being really mad at yourself saying, man, I should have booked that trip. But don't have FOMO for the next one. Come with us. We want you guys to come with us. There are going to be 160 people on that trip. And I promise you, you're going to know the 7 Aussies are there because we're going to have more fun and be louder and be on all of those videos with all of those influencers because we're there flying the Aussie flag because we are the pioneering leaders for our country, for our region, and in the world. And you know what? We are still at the very freaking beginning, and every single one of you can be the #1 leader in this company. Every single one of you can be the #1 income earner in this company. Every single one of you can be the #1 recruiter in this company. My question is, do you want it? Are you hungry? Let's go get it. All right, guys, I love you all so much. My last action for you, I want you to jump into the team chat and let everyone know what was the #1 thing that you got from this call today. I want you all to go on social media and I want you to share the most incredible, excited post. And I want you to really post from, I am the #1 leader in our DreamTrips community. I'm the #1 recruiter. I'm the #1 income earner. Like, I am the leader that tracks other leaders. And I want you to share something truly inspirational from this call, and let's go fill all those 10 spots this week. Love you guys. And remember, Travel Tuesday night at 7 p.m. See you there. Mwah!